Hey, everybody. Thank you again for stopping by the official podcast of the BPPA. We call it Answering the Call. As always, I'm Jamie Kenneally alongside the president, El Presidente of the BPPA, Larry Calderone. Larry, how you doing, bud?
Doing well, Jamie. Thanks a bunch. Busy as usual. More importantly, how's the membership doing? We'll take a quick second to say thank you for all you do. Again, recognizing that summer vacations are starting in order and starting, and I don't have anything nice to say about the department right now, so we'll move right along with the show, and I'll probably vent as we go.
But we do appreciate the fact that every time we do a podcast, you kick it off with love and appreciation for the hard work being done by the men and women of BPD.
Oh, you have to. I mean, look, I want to say it again for the people that listen to the show all the time. We recognize that we're not the ones out there answering the calls for service. We're not the ones being ordered, but we're available 24 hours a day. We're working 7 days a week for everybody. We're having those internal arguments. And, that the members need to be thankful for what they're doing because they're representative of the department and the union.
And we're here for them. We're going to get to that. Some contract talk in a second. Enrique Pepén, guest today, District 5 City Councilor. We'll get to Enrique later in the show. But, Larry, one thing we should discuss, the dangers of policing. We know it all too well. Once again, on full display, one of our officers was literally targeted, if you will, in the area of Mass General Hospital, doing a detail. The range individual walks up to him, takes his gun, gets control of his firearm, and essentially tries to kill him with it.
If we had this discussion right after it happened, I was a lot more heated, as you know. Mental health and wellness, let's talk about it. Obviously, people are suffering mentally out there. We understand that. Yeah. But that is no excuse for attacking a police officer, trying to take their weapon and trying to shoot them. Yeah. We can downplay it. We can change the narrative. We can say what we want in the media. But for the courageous people, we say thank you. For the people that are out there saying, hey, thank goodness there was another police officer on a paid construction detail that was able to quickly render assistance. Thank goodness that the members of the working construction crew jumped in to help the officers try to secure that firearm. And when that firearm was discharged, it almost killed one of our guys. It went right through his uniform, right through his coat, just missed the vest and out the other side. So that's probably something that's not out there in the general public, but for the people listening, you should know that's how close it was to being to a funeral. So I don't want to just acknowledge that there's mental health involved here. Of course there is, but let's not kid each other. This was someone who was trying to take a weapon from a police officer and shoot them. Again, how imperative it is to have uniformed police officers at construction sites for the safety of the general public and for our own members. So thank you, everybody, for what you do.
No, chance, and a good chance for you to set the record straight. I think the message is important. Just because you're suffering from mental illness, it does not give you the right to attack a cop. And that's what happened, and you said it, and it's true. The story didn't come out that way.
Correct. And that's what's frustrating about it.
Mental illness, it's like baloney mental illness. You don't have a right to harm police officers because of that. And like you already said, thank God, tragedy averted, but there's no question the individual in question was dead set on trying to kill a cop. So
yeah, well, if we could only get the media, maybe the media will actually follow and do something when it comes to this show. But not getting any help from them or any truth from them on the matter.
But good to get it out. I'm glad you get a chance to touch on that. All right, so let's get to the other big story. It's contract time.
Sure.
My understanding expires on July 1st.
Yes, actually June 30th, next Monday.
June 30th, so fast approaching. Members, you get the questions. We all get the questions. Eager for news. Where are we, buddy?
Well, House of Reps meeting just last night. We haven't come up with a firm date where we're going to close and send, close the members' email that's available for people to send in their wants, their requests to put on the bargaining table. But
we'll get that out there now since you threw it out there.
Yeah.
From day one, it's all about getting people involved, and we want folks to have a say. So there's an email set up, answering the call at bppa.org. Again, answering the call at bppa.org. And if you have an idea, right, if there's something you think we should be negotiating and fighting for, weigh in.
Jamie, the one I was referring to was bargaining at bppa.org. That is the one that I was referring to that the House of Reps have been telling members to send things into. That will be closing on July 2nd, the night of the e-board. And then in the July House of Reps meeting, we'll inform the House that it has closed, and we will be putting together the survey to go out sometime in August. Let the members take part in the survey as we did last CBA negotiations. And what they want and what they rank as most important is what will be on the table. So it's really incumbent upon the members to be involved in our union. Have your voice. Make sure you take
your
part
union.
in it.
Do you have a say? Most certainly. BPPA bargaining dot.
BPPA bargaining at bppa.org. Okay, BPPA bargaining at bppa.org.
Okay, we got that?
Nailed it.
Yeah, he nailed it. Yeah, I'm glad
we nailed it. Thanks.
I'm glad
finally, we got it right.
Somebody nailed it.
Yeah.
All right. So
now you could talk about the one for this show because we have a couple of funnies. I think.
Yeah, we'll get to
you'll get to them. Okay. I'm entertained. I know who the one was from. Go ahead.
Let's talk issues.
Sure.
And again, some of that stuff came up at the meeting last night. But what are some of the big issues? The obvious one, money. But even before that, close to a deal. Have discussions begun? Not there yet. What's going on there?
I think that we should address that first. So last night at the House of Reps meeting, as you know, it was brought up, hey, there's rumors everywhere that we're doing a 1-year extension. Hey, we have a 3-year deal.
Yep.
Hey, Larry's got a deal in his pocket with the mayor. All right. I do not have a deal in my pocket with the mayor. Are we having ongoing conversations? Of course we are. And let me stress that to everybody. We're having ongoing conversations with the mayor, the commissioner, and those teams all year long. Since the time we passed the last collective bargaining agreement, which I know was a short time ago that we signed our MOA, and we're very thankful to this mayor for doing or delivering the best contract in the history of our union. However, yes, we are talking now. There is a possibility of some contractual extension being put forth, but there's nothing etched in stone. Okay. And before things get out of hand with guard room banter and crazy numbers or crazy accusations, folks, listen, we're doing the best we can to get you better benefits, better wages, better working conditions. That's what your union does. That's what we do every day. If there's an opportunity to deliver something to you, we're going to. If we could do summer detail uniforms with a baseball cap and a new vest carrier, if we can deliver that to the members because the commissioner asked us to, then we're going to entertain that negotiation to do so. What we're not going to do is be extorted by the police commissioner. We're not going to be told after 9 months that, we're going to give you that vest, we're going to give you that summer uniform, but oh, by the way, you have to give me this. Yeah, we're not doing that. So you should hear that directly from me in this conversation. It came up last night. We're not going to be held hostage. We're not going to be taken for a ride. I don't do zeros. We don't do zeros, folks. If the department wants to change something, working conditions, method of operation, let's bargain for it. And trust me, you will get a benefit. There's no zeros coming from this leadership team.
Traditionally, that's how it works, Larry. And you seem to get that better than just about anybody. If there are going to be changes, there's value to the change. So if you want something, we need something in return. So yeah. I think folks get that.
And that works both ways, Jamie, as I get a little aggravated naturally. For the members' point of view, we're going to talk tough. We want something in exchange for it. But also, when we're looking to make changes, the department on the reverse side, they're looking for something for it. So it's a two-way street. That's what negotiations are all about. It's a give and take. Whether it's me or the mayor grandstanding talking about, hey, we didn't get everything we want. That's a true statement. We're fighting hard. We're negotiating hard. Sometimes we get a little bit more than we thought, and other times we end up giving a little bit more, unfortunately. So rest assured that moving forward, it's always about wages, folks. What's on the table? Money. It's always about wages. I've had a few people say, it's not about money. Yes, it is. If the guy next to you is saying it's not about money, then why are you working? Yeah. Stop it. We're here to support our families, to deliver. And this union is absolutely 100% dedicated to doing just that. So the contract is always about wages. We're going to get you paid higher. Yes. We're going to get you paid your worth. And we're going to
value the work.
Yeah, we're going to get as much as we can. I can't, take the victory lap, pat our team on the back more than I do when we talk about it. But we delivered the best contract in the history of the BPPA with this current mayor. That's why we endorsed her. Yep. That's why we back her. and we're going to continue having negotiations with her, and we're going to deliver again.
And the good relationship matters.
Of course it does.
I just want to touch on something because just this week somebody mentioned it to me about putting details in the contract.
Sure. Let's have that conversation.
But we had guys who said, you don't want to put details in the contract. That's crazy.
Yeah.
And the detail increase was left at the discretion of the commissioner. And now that we have it in there and it grows when the contract grows, I got more and more people saying, geez, that's a great idea, putting the details in the contract. And I remember when we were fighting and discussing it, there was pushback. Guys saying, that's stupid. Guess what? It's a lot of things. It wasn't stupid.
Thank you, Jamie. Appreciate it. I think everybody knows, just reflecting on their paycheck every week, that, hey, that was a great idea that was done.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna run through quick things. I mean, the big, kind of questions or topics of discussion. I mean, money's the big one. Percentages have been thrown out. Can we get into the percentages? You want to stay away from that? I mean, I know you hear a lot. Geez, I'd take it 2.5, whatever. What do you feel comfortable discussing?
Well, there's rumors that are already starting out there. Folks, there's no numbers that I can give you. What I can say to you is that this union and our leadership, Jamie and I specifically, we have seats up on the Joint Labor Management Committee. We are actively negotiating contracts around the Commonwealth. We are very well versed and aware of what the average percentages are.
Who's getting what?
Who's getting what, and where the benefits are coming in. So rest assured, if it's a 2, if it's a 3, you're going to know it, you're going to vote on it, and we're going to tell you why it's there, just like the last MOA. Sometimes your 2 is reflective of another benefit that I don't want to say is hidden somewhere else, but there's another benefit within the contract that we did achieve that has a monetary value that's just not in your basic wage. So, depending what the numbers are, we'll have to have that discussion with the membership before they vote. But rest assured, there won't be a 0. Yep. There are no zeros. We've been around 30 years. We have too many zeros already. Yep. I don't do zeros. Can't say it enough.
But to underscore your point, and the folks will know, and you're voting on it.
Correct.
So, you decide. Some of the issues that are out there, Larry, residency, is there an appetite for that?
Very strongly. And that's a rumor that is true. Anybody that's heard, hey, Larry was trying to get rid of residency for something the department was asking for, that is true. We tried to get rid of it altogether. We tried to modify it, knock it down to 7, knock it down to 5. Quite frankly, in the survey 4 years ago, that was not a top 10 item. Yeah. I kept residency on the table because so many younger officers, when I was visiting roll calls, said, hey, Larry, I got to have residency. We got to do something about that. So I kept it there, even though it wasn't in the top 10. So I want to say, please
weigh in
because, we have a bargaining team, and then we have a House of Reps that ends up looking at this data and seeing who voted and what the top priorities are. If residency is that much of an importance to you, make sure that you are getting involved with the survey.
Speak up.
Yeah, speak up. Be involved.
A couple other quick ones. Detail reform.
I don't like that word reform anymore.
Yeah, well, detail. How about there needs to be some tweaks to the detail system. We're getting a lot of that. Your thoughts and take on that?
Yeah, well, the handheld app is coming. Sometime the end of this summer, early fall, the application will be put forward. We've been working with the department pretty much biweekly now. We've been having meetings on how it's being set up, how it's going to be disseminated. So let me say this as strongly as possible. We are going to follow the letter of the collective bargaining agreement. The MOA that everybody voted that we're supposed to be following is the stance of the BPPA. We developed a hierarchy for a specific reason. Us and detectives, Federation members, retirees, campus police officers, housing, the municipal guys at City Hall, and then a civilian workforce. We're going to stand very strong on that. I am aware, as you are, that there are tweaks that need to be made. There were interpretations being made by the police department, that is the commissioner and his staff, that we disagree with. Their interpretations on our collective bargaining agreement about the detail language, and we're attempting to fix that. So when we talk about ongoing conversations with the department on negotiations for changes, detail language is part of it.
It's a big part of it.
Yeah, it was talked about last night, and we informed the House of Reps that, yes, we're attempting to repair, I guess, some of the language that the department has interpreted to our displeasure. Whether we can do that before we do a full-scale contract remains to be seen. but there are little things that the commissioner's office wants to implement, and we're always open to negotiation. But we're not giving the store away. We're not being extorted. And if we have to knock it off until the full contract is done, whether it's 6 weeks, 6 months, or a year and a half from now, we'll do that. Because one thing's guaranteed. One conversation I had with the mayor strongly now for months is we're getting full retroactive pay, just like we did in the last contract. Just like we did not and have not for 35 years. We have never gotten full retro pay. This mayor's committed to that. So if it takes us another year to do a contract, so be it. But rest be assured, we're going to get you paid, folks.
Yep.
That's what we do, and we're real good at it.
I love the full retro. Obviously, money's owed. So I think members need to know that. So I appreciate the reassurance. Last thing, questions about education, more majors, more schools.
Yeah, we're after all accredited institutions. We're after all majors. We are going to attempt to mimic some of the other collective bargaining agreements that we've been studying that do have better educational packages than we do. So we're going to attempt to have educational benefits fully implemented. That being master's degrees. That being I would hope that we would get all majors, but being realistic, I guess I would say majors that benefit the department and the people we serve, because when you get down to the nitty gritty, not everything pertains to policing. Let's have honest conversations about it. Supermajority of educations do boil down to everyday policing. All education matters. All education makes us a more well-rounded person.
I like all majors. Yeah. I mean, a lot of folks asking about business-related degrees as well.
That's a no-brainer.
For that? I think
that's a no-brainer. I know we came up with a handful of schools and a handful of majors last time, but we delivered a huge contract last time. So you can't get everything in one swoop. Just like the mayor said herself, she wanted more. She couldn't have more. We want more. We couldn't get everything. Yeah. But I guess just being cocky for the moment, we're going to get more. We're going to deliver another great contract. We know what we're doing. We've already proven that we can deliver. So be strong, everybody. I'm sure the rumors and the bullshit will fly out there about, Jesus, did you hear that rumor? Don't believe God-ridden rumors.
Make the call to the hall.
Yeah, you want to know something about the collective bargaining agreement. You want to know whether or not we're really negotiating, talking. You want to clear up a rumor, you call me direct. Yeah, everybody has my cell phone number. I'm not going to give it on the air just based upon that email you're going to read later. But if you want to clear up a rumor, you call me direct. If you're a member of our great union, you call me and we'll clear it up.
Stop by the hall if you want. But yeah, that's a great piece of advice. If you got questions, come on down and talk to Larry. All right, we do have an email. I got a couple of emails, but one, Larry, before we go to break. And, of course, again, Enrique Pepén, District 5 City Councilor, is our guest today. Get to him in a second. But before we do, an email from Billy from Brighton. Larry, thanks for the great contract, but what next?
Well,
I love it. Thanks, but let's cut the crap. What do you get? What's in the pipeline? Well, I like the fact
I think
that
it's great because we just answered that.
But I like the fact that you reassure people and you call the shot. You did it last time. You're doing it again. I'm going to get you paid, people. Trust me. I'm going to get you paid. So...
That's it. That's why we're here.
I imagine that's part of the answer.
Wages, benefits, working conditions is what we do. That's that's the basis of the union, and we're going to deliver.
We've put money in your pocket. I think it's worth emphasizing. That's the main goal. Putting money in your pocket, food on your table, roof above your head, and you've done a fantastic job of that. All right. Speaking of fantastic people, our city council, Enrique Pepén is our guest after the break.
You're not going to tell them about the dirty email?
Oh, the inappropriate email from our show producer?
Well, it's either from our show producer sitting in the next room.
Obscenity laden?
It's either him or it's coming from Kraft. It's from one or the other. I suppose Kraft's probably mad at us too. So it's either a guy next door here or him.
All right, we'll get to that during the break. And again, coming up after the break, Enrique Pepén. Stay tuned, everybody. All right, everybody, welcome back to the official podcast of the BPPA. Really happy about our next guest, a guy I really like and respect, and fast, becoming one of my favorite city councils, Larry. I know I can't speak for you, but I just want to say, estoy con Señor Enrique Pepén. Did I say that right, Enrique?
I'm going to reserve my comment whether he's my favorite or not based upon his interview today, and then I'll give you my opinion. No pressure.
Buddy. Yeah. First things first, buddy. Thank you for taking the time. Welcome to our podcast. It means a lot. We want folks to know that you were recently endorsed by the Boston Police Patrolmen's Association. It's an endorsement we were more than happy to give to you. But I mean, how important is that endorsement to you, and what's your reaction to it?
No, first of all, Jamie and Larry, thank you so much for having me on the podcast. It's an honor to be able to speak to not only you, but to your members and be able to talk about what this means to me. When I received the endorsement, I was honored because, the first time I was running, I didn't have the same privilege to get the endorsement. And I know we're going to talk about that in a little bit, but I've always had a sense of respect and gratitude to the work that police officers do in our city. I was raised in a way to just always respect of anyone in uniform and to just acknowledge the work that they're doing. You guys are public servers as well as I am. And it speaks volume. And to know that there are so many members that live in District 5 that serve our city as police officers, that's why this one means even more for me during this re-election.
Yeah, it meant a lot for us to give it to you. And I want to talk about the last election. Because, Jose Ruiz, great guy, retired BPD. He had the endorsement. But I want people to know that during the election, and this is when I said to myself, I like Enrique Pepén. But you came to me and said, hey, buddy, just so you know, I like police officers. I like what you guys do. I remember you told me you have friends who are police officers. And you said, in the event that I get in, I want a relationship with you guys. And sure enough, here we are.
Yeah, I'm going to jump in with Jamie on that, Enrique. Full disclosure, Jose Ruiz is my classmate, my friend. He came to us looking for support. He's a retired police officer. It was a no-brainer for the endorsement coming out of the membership last year. You were an unknown to us, and you go with those you know, and then you try to develop that relationship, which I know you have fostered. So it gave me great pleasure to have a conversation with you about the endorsement. Jamie and I very proud to be able to tell the House of Representatives that, hey, here's a guy who held no ill will to us based upon our decision in the last election. And you've been nothing but forthcoming, supportive, and wanting to engage with us, our membership, and find out how you can make things better for police officers and their families. So it's important to have you on this radio show. Thank you for being here. And it's important for the members to hear it out of your own mouth. So thanks for being here. And I just wanted to chime in and say we appreciate the relationship that you have formulated with us.
No, thank you both. It's just, I've always said, what the type of narrative that's been happening nationally, I really don't think it's what we're seeing here in Boston. The police officers that we have here in Boston, they live in our city. They live in our streets. They're our neighbors. They're people who we went to school with. They're police officers I go to church with. They're police officers who are community policing our people. And it's a different vibe here in Boston. I've always said it, which is why I'm not shy to say, yes, I have a relationship with the police department, because I know that other cities have there's different stuff happening across the country, but not here in Boston. I'm very proud to say that.
And that's a credit to you. And I just want to note also, anytime an officer gets hurt or has been injured or involved in something bad, Enrique is one of the first phone calls.
He's one of the first phone calls we get.
Checking in. Yep. And that to me is invaluable.
Thank you.
But buddy, let me just ask you, a couple of obvious questions. We know how important public safety is to the success of our city. But how important do you understand public safety to be to the success of Boston?
When we have a safe city and we have police officers that feel supported and just have the right tools, and also just have a healthy relationship with residents, with elected officials, with community leaders, etc., that leads to just a healthy system in general. And when I say system, I just mean the entirety of the city. When folks are able to feel like, all right, I could go for a walk outside no matter the time of the day, or I know that I can leave. I don't know. I can go to any part of the city. I can go to any neighborhood. I know I could go to my precinct if I have a complaint. I know that I could. There's which is why I love the community service officers, right? Those are folks that I literally call and I tell residents, hey, reach out to your CSOs if you ever have a complaint of something that's happening on your street. And guess what? they more than likely always respond and actually show up, either to a community meeting or they show up to the doorsteps and they have a casual conversation. Just today, earlier today, I was able to make a relationship between the new manager over at the Fairmont Housing and our new amazing Captain Boyle over at E18, and he was more than willing to go out there and meet with me and the new manager to build a relationship with them.
Yeah.
So that is what Boston should be. That is what we should be striving to be, and I'm happy to say that is what we're doing, and that's why I think there has to be a good relationship between police department, people, the city government, etc.
Well, I love that you said that because Larry and I were talking about it. That's when we look at you, we see that as one of your bigger strengths. That ability to bring people together, to build relationships, to us is the key to an effective politician. How do you see yourself? Do you see yourself as the guy who knows how to bring people together?
That is very much something that I try to own and practice every single day, whether I'm inside the City Hall chamber or on the streets of Boston. Because, I mean, I hate to say, sometimes the city council has a certain reputation. So I've tried.
No, wait a second. Are we talking about the same city council?
So do police officers, Enrique. So do we.
So, my job, I've genuinely, in my first term, have tried to take the responsibility to shift that narrative. And if you look at the way I work inside the chamber, I consider myself more of a mediator, where I'm working with everyone on no matter what side of the aisle they're on, no matter what neighborhood they represent. I'll co-sponsor a hearing with any counselor, as long as we have the same mission, which is to improve the quality of the city and the quality of life for the residents. That's the type of person that I am. And are we going to agree on everything? Absolutely not. I always joke around. I don't agree with everything my wife says at the house, but I still love her.
Geez, I hope she doesn't listen to this.
I agree with everything. If my wife is listening, I agree with everything, honey. Everything you do.
Hey, Enrique, I want to say to you, I know that we had this conversation early, and I try to mention this in almost all of my presentations. No one wants to live in a lawless society. We need police officers. Right. We need and we should appreciate our police department. So you have taken that to the next step, being the new city council last session. I just want to say thank you. I want everybody to hear it that listens to our podcast, that we represent, that you are that individual. I make that statement and you carry it in the council because you believe in it, because you have a family in the city and you need your police officers and you want it to be safe. So, it's great. I like what you're doing.
I just want to echo that because I think Larry's point is well made. Like we want our folks, they do know we say it, but buddy, I appreciate you and we thank you because you're always available. And I love the fact that, as we see it, your relationship building is huge. It's been evident to us from the get-go. So I'm glad you see that. And we just hope you just keep doing what you're doing, brother.
No, I really appreciate you guys, and I just think everything that you are doing for our city, and like I said, this is a working relationship. This is something that I'm going to continue to evolve. Police department is going to continue to evolve. So let's make sure we do that together for just the betterment of the city. For if there's any officers that are hearing out there, I'm someone here that's willing to work with you to collaborate on any initiative. So, and just thank them for all the work they do.
All right, buddy. I'm going to ask one last question, and again, estoy con Enrique Pepén. But, folks, you have the endorsement. Of course, we want our members to know that we're with you. But when folks are going to the polls, we get the primary fast approaching September 9th, I believe.
Yep.
Just another plug on the way out. Why should they vote for you?
Jamie, that's a great question. And when folks are heading to the polls on September 9th, I want folks to know that when they vote for me, when they check my name off on the ballot, that they're voting for someone that genuinely cares about the city. That I don't care what your views are, or where you live. You don't even have to live in my district. That if you email me, you call my office, you reach out, you shoot me a message via Facebook, Instagram, you're going to get a response from me. And if I don't have the answer, I'm going to try to work to get the answer for you. Because at the end of the day, we're all here to serve. And that's the type of commitment that I have to this city. I'm born and raised here in Boston. I'm raising my own family now. I'm a kid from the projects. I'm a kid that went to Boston Public School. And now I just want to make sure I'm giving back to the same system that gave me so much.
Love it. Love it. All right. Last word to Larry before we say goodbye, Enrique.
Yeah, geez, I was shocked, Enrique. I thought you were going to say the last word you wanted to give to the members was, our collective bargaining agreement expires next Monday. You're going to give us more money. You're going to get rid of residency. You're going to build free gymnasiums in every station in the city, 10-hour days. I thought you were going to promise the world, but your answer was better.
He didn't say that off air, but we can get it the next time we have him on the podcast. Buddy, I'm good. You good, Larry?
Yeah, I'm good. Hey, again, thanks for the support. And on the CBA front, I know you'll be just as supportive as you were last time around. So it's important for the members to seriously hear that as well. So thanks, E.
Yes, sir. No, for sure. You guys, I appreciate all the work you do. Thank you so much for having me here. It's been an honor.
All right, buddy. We appreciate you coming on. Thank you, and we'll talk soon.
Yep. Good luck.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
All right. See you, buddy. Enrique Pepén, District 5 City Councilor. Again, Larry, you can see why. He's fast becoming one of my favorites on the council.
He's a great guy. And now I know why you're always patting him on the back to me and telling me how great he is.
He's a good man.
He's a breath of fresh air, that's for sure.
All right, folks, that's the show. Okay. Larry, last word before we say goodbye until next time.
So listen, everyone, thanks for what you do every day on the street. Well, we know the summer vacations have started. We know everyone is getting ordered. We're getting slapped on the back of the head with 20 tour transfers, cancellation of days off, mandatory overtime. The insults are kind of starting to stack up. But maybe this is the department's way of being tough as we begin the collective bargaining negotiation conversations. That being said, we will be sending out the survey.
Survey's coming, yep.
For what you want to see and how you rank what's most important for you at the collective bargaining table. So stay in touch. We thank you for listening to the podcast. Be careful. Spend as much time as you can with that family. If you need time, you take time. And if you need the leadership, you call us directly.
Awesome. Till next time, everybody. He's Larry Calderone. I'm Jamie Kenneally. Stay safe and hopefully see you soon. Bye now.